trying to think if anything connects to me and Rebecca. Genghis Khan.
Oh.
We were connected 1,000 years ago.
Dang.
Actually, I do feel like, though, if you were to meet someone and you were like, oh my god, like, if somehow you guys like knew each other, instant love. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back to the TTYL podcast, hosted by Adrian
And Sarah.
Today, we're going to talk about love theories, but we're also going to kind of discuss like important like love related questions. But we'll sprinkle in some theories here and there, so it's just so robotic. But
I don't know why why do we feel so close today?
yeah, normally you're like but I think it's because we're trying to keep like the mess out of the frame.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was like,
No,
something
what
feels
mess?
a little off.
Here, we'll just like tilt our heads.
Okay, perfect.
Do you have
Do I look like a glazed donut? I just got a facial today.
a crazy question? If you think she looks like a glazed donut, like our video. Dude, I'm kind of worried I'm going to start like having a coughing fit.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm fine. I coughed once today, which is actually really good for me. What are your experiences with like love theories? Or like what do you think of them in general?
So when you first brought up this topic, I was a little bit confused because I don't know what classifies as a love theory and what classifies as just like a saying.
Oh, that's fair.
Because I'm not that familiar with that many, but I would say I definitely operate out of some love theories, or like I really resonate with some love theories.
Okay. Yeah, continue.
What are your thoughts?
I'm going to define it just so we're on the same page.
Yeah.
I think love theories are like ways of like thinking about love. Like it's a framework to think about love. Especially when love is very much like, I don't know, it's kind of like something you can't really define almost.
Okay, so like your love philosophies.
Yeah, love philosophy.
Okay.
I think that might have been a better way to put it. Love philosophies.
Okay.
Yeah. Like how you fall in love, or like what love is, or like, you know, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got lots.
Lots.
Lots of experiences.
I said lots of icks. All right, so we can jump right in.
Okay.
The format will be more like question first, and then we can kind of talk about a theory and see if we like agree or not. Okay. So the theme of this one is a yellow cab theory. The main theme is like, are we only open to love when we're ready? So I think this is interesting because there's a saying that's like, you only find love when you're not looking for it.
Yes, I believe that.
When you're not looking for it? But what about the ready part?
I think you can still
Be ready and not looking for it.
For the most part, things happen when you're not expecting it, whether you're ready or not.
That's fair.
Are you going to explain the theory?
Yeah, so the yellow cab theory, I don't know why it applies to more men
Yeah,
than
I've heard that too.
women, right? But something about, like, so guys are like taxis, and we're not going to, like, basically marry until we're, like, personally we're ready. But sometimes it could also come at the cost of, like, not having a deep relationship. I feel like, practically speaking, it's, like, the kind of just, like, fuck around. Like it sounds like it's, like, fuckboy era till you realize...
Till you want it.
Yeah.
And then whoever comes next.
Yeah,
whoever
you
hails
like,
the cab next.
you, like,
that's
marry
like
them. Yeah.
the committed one. Okay. But you're saying, like, whoever the next one is after they're ready, they might not have a deep connection with?
Yeah, like, it doesn't necessarily mean that they have a deep connection with them. Like, they're just marrying just because they're ready.
Oh.
I don't know. I think it's a bit of a stretch.
Okay, but
no, I do agree. Maybe something about, like, men and, like, commitment there's, like, some issue with, you know?
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to generalize.
No.
Like,
Again, we're just talking about the theory itself.
Yeah.
We're not necessarily, like, saying men do this or women do this, but it has been attributed to men, like, a little more.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's kind of just like when you're ready for marriage, you're ready. But
yeah, I've heard along those lines, like, you can't make a guy be ready.
That's scary.
It's just whenever they decide they are, then it's full send.
Full send.
But that also reminds me of another one that I don't know if this is like in your list too, like soulmates versus life partner.
No, it's not this one. I mean, it's on the list.
So I don't know if that's like a theory, but it's just like a thought or perspective where like some people believe you have a soulmate who you like are deeply connected with, but you might not be together forever, versus a life partner where you might not be as deeply connected, but you're good for like a long-term partnership.
I can see that because I feel like I've met like friends who feel like soulmates almost, but I wouldn't necessarily like marry them.
Yeah.
But that's really interesting.
Do you feel like you resonate with the taxi cab theory as a guy?
I don't understand why it's more attributed to guys though. You know what? I feel like the taxi cab theory insinuates that men are able to like switch from like partner to partner to partner. Like in the sense that like once you break up with someone, you like move on. You break up with someone, you move on, which is like, you know, healthy in itself. But I also feel like a lot of men get hung up on like their exes and stuff.
Oh, but they're not ready to like commit to that extent.
Yeah. I don't know.
The switching thing I feel like is kind of universal.
Yeah,
not
yeah,
just
yeah.
guys, but hung up on exes. That is kind of interesting. I feel like that might also be that's probably a universal thing, but I can also see how.
Or maybe I just know healthy men because I feel like a lot of people or guy friends I know maybe not hung up on their exes, but just like think fondly.
I think that's
Universal.
normal, unless it's like it was a bad relationship or something.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't think this theory should be attributed to men. I think it would be attributed to both. But yeah, I'd be curious to know why.
But I feel like generally girls might be more ready to marry than guys are.
Why?
Like, I feel like for guys, this might be one of your other theories.
No, go for it.
But, like, the whole, like, third love thing, I feel like this is, like, based off of nothing. It's just, like, what I observe. So, like, everything with a grain of salt because whatever. But basically, I can see how, like, when a guy is actually, like, really invested in a girl.
What?
It's, like, very obvious. It's, like, that switch of like I'm not fucking around, like I'm.
But I feel like that's just like,
I'm, like,
being
ready
in a
to marry.
That's just being in a relationship.
But the commitment marry part is like a deeper intention that you can kind of.
Can you tell that from the beginning or comes the time? Like when two people start dating, you're like, okay, he's like in for the long run.
I guess it depends on the guy.
Okay,
I feel like you
that's
can,
fair.
but it depends on the guy. But I feel like no. Sorry, I feel like when the guy is ready, like at that stage of his life, when he is like ready to commit for marriage, I feel like you can tell.
What does that look like?
Oh, but you know what? Okay, because yeah, what about like long-term relationships? Like what about people that get into a relationship in like college or high school?
Yeah.
Or maybe let's just say like college, and then they've been in a relationship for like 7 to 10 years before they get married. I guess like maybe in the very beginning it wasn't like
That'd be crazy. You want to get married at
ready
like
to
15
marry.
years old?
Yeah.
Ugh.
So I don't know. I feel like I'm talking in circles because I don't actually have any concrete evidence to use here.
All right, the theory's invalid. Concluded. All right, let's move on.
Okay.
Next one.
Wait, but I kind of want to... Is it bad to search up on chat real quick just to see if they have any opinions on why guys do taxi cab?
Go for it.
Okay, so I just quickly looked up why it's more associated with men. And basically they're saying that it's more like societal expectations and gender roles in society and how men want to wait for like the right time, whether that's like being financially secure, pursuing their personal career.
This is also from
growth.
ChatGPT, so I don't know where ChatGPT is pulling these sources from.
Yeah, so grain of salt.
Grain of salt. Because why can't women want to wait till they're financially free and shit, you know?
Yeah, that might be another conversation. But women are kind of socialized to think more about like finding the right person, whereas guys are more socialized to being at the right time in their life.
Okay,
That's
so let's
kinda where it
say
comes from.
hypothetically you were in a relationship with someone and like couples like say things right. Like at some point I have not joked about like marriage with Rebecca, but just like, you know, like he like what are you know, so just, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah. Like you talk about things.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that a signal you're like, oh, like this guy might be serious?
I think there's a difference between talking about it
Right.
as just like, even if it's not like a joke per se.
Yeah.
Like there's a difference between talking about it and like, I feel like you can tell when someone's actually ready for that part of life.
Okay.
And
so
that might be deeper through like intention and like how they talk about it and their actions and how they reflect their commitment to you and stuff like that.
okay, but like let's just say they had an ex or like the fling that you don't know about and he said the exact same stuff to them, would that bother you? Because I feel like in the honeymoon phase, guys just say whatever the fuck's on their mind. And oh my god, I have another flip question to that. What if he's just saying that because he feels, I guess, pressure in a way?
So to some extent he's saying it, but he's not meaning it.
No. I think he's meaning it, but he's meaning it as a byproduct of his like circumstances.
And what are why is that
versus
bad?
like if you were 24 and let's say you didn't have any pressure to be married, like you're kind of still in the stage of like where you're like free, you can do whatever you want, like fuck around if you want to, and then you say that, like would that like be more meaningful? But answer the first part too.
Okay.
Like hypothetically,
if he said that to an ex or something.
Yeah, like the exact same way, the exact like, because TBH, I feel like I have with my relationships in the past, like done the same thing, especially like the more longer term ones. So yeah,
I mean, how do you feel when you say that now?
well, I mean, like I always preface, like I'm not like proposing to you or anything, but I'm talking about it because like we're in a relationship together. Because I feel like if you can't even see any inkling of you guys being together, there's no point in being in a relationship.
Yeah.
So I think talking about it isn't necessarily like commitment necessarily, but it's just what you do in a relationship.
Yes.
No, it is commitment because you can imagine, but it's not like marriage commitment.
Right. You're just flirting with the idea of
Right.
marriage
Like
together.
because if you couldn't see it absolutely at all, you wouldn't be in a relationship with them.
Right.
So talking about it could just be like, again, I'm speaking for myself because I had some toxic behaviors before, but like, you know,
We're
like,
self-aware.
insurance, pay for my therapy, please. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get the whole like talking thing, but again, I do feel like there is another layer that's different.
So it's beyond just like
just talking.
about. Okay, that's fair.
There's something that just feels like more secure or genuine. Not that that's not genuine, but like it goes deeper than just talking about it. And okay, going back to the whole ex thing.
Yeah, I want to hear your answer to that.
I genuinely think that if it's the whole just like talking thing, that's fine. Like I get it. But again, I can feel my intuition of like, oh, if they actually mean something deeper with me, and if I mean something deeper with them, because I feel like I can also just like talk about it. But okay, I guess the difference, like obviously you still mean it when you're talking about it.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think what I mean is like, there's a difference between we're just talking about it, but we're not ready to propose, versus we're talking about it and like I would propose now. We might as well be engaged now. Like that kind of commitment of talking about it is different.
So that was a very scattered brain conversation, but we're gonna move on to the next love theory because we actually have a lot to talk about.
Okay.
But let's put a pin on that, and we have a lot to talk about in life. All right, moving on. But yeah, fuck that love theory. It's probably false. Anyways. Okay, now the next one that I want to talk about is, do we love out of convenience? Because there's a love theory that is like, you fall in love with the person who you're most like closest with at the time, the person you spend the most time with, and there's another one. But the basis of it is like proximity is like king.
So like coworker or like classmate or like stuff like that, just because you see them a lot, or like exposure theory. I think,
exposure theory.
I mean, I think that makes sense. Oh, it's kind of like trends, like fashion trends.
Huh?
Like,
You lost me there, buddy.
like you look at something for the first time and you're like, oh my god, that's ugly.
By that logic, if I were to look at an asshole.
Oh my god.
No, I didn't mean that asshole. I mean just like, what the fuck? Okay, hypothetically, if I were to hang out with like Donald Trump for the next 90 years of my life, I would eventually fall in love with them.
No. We still have standards.
Oh, we still have standards, I guess.
But as long as like you still like them as you're getting to know them, exposure therapy or like the exposure theory can work.
So by that theory, a relationship is just like enough like time spent without being icked out, and then it turns into a relationship.
Hell yeah.
Wow, if love was just that.
Isn't that kind of what like dating is? Like when you go on dates on like Hinge and stuff, you spend time with them. And you're like,
my only thing with that is I think there has to be a little more than that, because like you naturally just have like relationships that are you spend more time with outside of dating that are like deeper than a date is. Like
as friends.
Yeah. I would say like you probably have some friendships that were deeper than some of the dates you went to. but for some reason you still, I don't know like which dates you've been on, but maybe like of the guys you were attracted to them versus you weren't as attracted to the friend that's been like in your proximity for the last 15 years of your life.
I see.
That's the only reason why I'm like, oh, the series kind of.
Okay, I think I get the theory, but there's a caveat where it's not just any coworker or any classmate. It's like they have to still be someone that you're interested in romantically, but the fact that they are your coworker or classmate just makes it easier for you to get to know them better to suss out if you like them romantically.
One idea that I love that kind of opposes this is that I believe the love of your life is probably not like next to you.
Is that just because like probability?
Yeah. So I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Like the probability that the love of your life is like your
In your circles.
in your like next door neighbor
Yeah.
or like someone you went to like elementary school with.
Yeah.
Again, that's also like I guess not. I guess like if you believe that you have like multiple like ones you could love and the idea that you have one loved one. Okay, if it's the one loved one, probably not. Even with the multiple loved ones, I still think they're not going to be in your like next door neighbor. That's why like you travel and find love. I don't know. I like to think I grew up in China, Rebecca grew up in Indiana. There's no fucking
And
shot.
somehow you
bummed their ways here. I mean, the proximity theory can be how you want to take it. Like either you grew up with them or whatever. But
Wow.
Wow, what?
That's so true. And I've grown up my whole life with the same like group of friends basically.
That's why none of y'all are dating.
Wow, yeah.
Like,
And that's why you should all move to New York.
no, you
to
should
find
all.
love.
No, I truly think our friends who are like still single, I believe their loved ones are in like Europe or something.
Oh my god.
Like they literally just have to move and then like fuck around and find out. Not like fuck around, like.
They should fuck around. Wait,
You know what I mean?
but the fact that like so many people can find partners in the city or like in school.
Because they all traveled here.
Oh, true.
Transplants.
Oh, true.
Again, it's not to say if you've lived in one place for your whole life, you're never going to find love. But
maybe just a bigger possibility.
that's the idea that I like to get behind, that your loved one is like far away from you.
That's interesting. I've never thought about it like that.
Yeah, because I saw it on TikTok and it was actually like basically roasting people who like date their friends. Because why do you think your one is like right next to you? Yeah, your one is probably, or actually I heard a YouTuber talk about that too. That's why he like does travel content and meets like so many people, because he believes, even I think that even applies to like friends, like your best friend is probably like anyways. On to the next. Oh, okay. Do you think effort shapes our perception of love? This is called the IKEA theory. Basically the idea that like for like my fucking bookshelf, not my bookshelf, my drawer, we built that crap
3
together at 3 a.m. and that took so long, and now I'm probably gonna hold on to it for the rest of my life.
Oh, just because.
Or even like because we put more effort into it. I think of it high. Like if you dropped a Louis Vuitton drawer, I would be like, because I put so much effort into that drawer.
Oh, it's what's it called? The
IKEA theory.
Yeah, okay. Thanks,
Come
Adrian.
again.
Come again. No, it's the sunken cost fallacy.
What the? I've never heard of that.
For example, like if you've been dating for 7 years and then you're like, oh, maybe we're not good together, but we've been dating for 7 years, so we can't break
That's
up
the
now
one.
because we've spent so much time together.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. How do we feel
IKEA
about that?
theory.
The IKEA theory.
I think it casts a like false, what's it called? It's not false hope. I don't think it's healthy.
I think that's why we have so many unhappy marriages. I think marriages make me think about what love truly is a lot.
Yeah.
Because if love is just partnership, is that something you'd still want? Or
Without,
sorry.
a romantic aspect.
Yeah, because I feel like my parents are in a great relationship, but I've met a lot of my friends who have like, they say it's unhealthy relationships, and a lot of times the reasons why parents don't get divorced is because like they already have so much property together, or they have like a lot of kids together, you know,
or like culturally.
and then it's just easier for the family, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I feel like my perception of love also is kind of being molded by that, because it's like obviously if you have an issue or something, you're not just like, or if something better comes along, like a Louis Vuitton drawer or something like that, like you don't just drop everything to go over there, and you like try to work things out. But like at the end of the day, if things aren't working out, then like what do you do?
But what if that's just like what marriage is? I think it's hard for like us young people to really conceptualize what marriage is without a lot of the stress, the burdens, and responsibilities that come with marriage.
Yeah, you kind of just skip the highlight reel.
Yeah, like you're just like, at least from a young perspective, you're just like, I got to spend the rest of my life with the person I love, you know?
Yeah.
Which is great.
Knowing that there's going to be a lot of sacrifices in marriage, I feel like that is part of the commitment to that person. And like part of that is what love is. Like, I mean, obviously I want a romantic aspect in my marriage and not just like a partnership. I can imagine there are ebbs and flows depending on the phases, like whether there's kids or whatnot. But
I'm like so curious how your relation changes when you have kids, and then how your relationship changes when they leave the house, like when they go to college. Like, do you get like a second high?
Empty nesters.
I'm back, babe.
Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, because like kids will only be in your house for
Bro, 18 years is long af. I'm gonna be, hypothetically, if I'm 31 when I have my first kid, I'm gonna be 50.
Oh my gosh.
Some shit.
Oh my
when I'm done.
gosh. And then like if you have more kids, it'll be like longer. But I feel like people always say that kids grow up so fast. So like 18 years will fly by so quickly.
I've also heard how when you get a kid, your love for your partner does change, but that love for your kid is just so like genuine and like powerful and like pure, whatever. It doesn't matter.
What doesn't matter?
Like that the fact that your love has changed with your partner, because they are just like you and him personified, and you loving him is also like you loving your kid is also just like a way to show love to your partner.
I see. Well, I want to still show my partner a lot of love too.
What if you have 10 kids? Oh, having too many kids.
Oh goodness.
Anyways.
What was the original theory? Oh, IKEA theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to say I personally...
Do you vibe with it?
I do not vibe with it.
Okay, I also don't vibe with it.
I think you should be honest with yourself, and if you actually don't like something, try to work through it.
Wait, okay, see...
And not just stay because it's comfortable or because you have, like, emotional attachment to something that might not be actually good for you.
What would you say is the core difference between dating and marriage? I had a conversation with a friend recently, and we both agreed that marriage is a social construct. Do you agree?
Yes.
So why can't we treat marriage just like dating?
Okay, wait. When you say that it's a social contract, do you just mean that, like, you technically could not be on paper married or have a reception or anything, but you could act like you're married?
Yeah, like if you were to date for the rest of your life, and then if you were to get married, hypothetically your relationship would be the same, right?
Yeah.
But it somehow feels like being married, there's more commitment. When in fact, that might not be the case. Like, it's just...
Yeah. I guess, like, legally there could be more commitment.
Because I wonder if our generation is going to be the generation that has, like, a higher divorce rate, I guess. Because we're very, very much, like... If something is wrong, definitely, like, work with your partner. But also to some degree, like... If they're not the person for you anymore, you should just leave them. Like, that's very much our dating culture, right? Like, we're very, very self-aware of ourselves. We're very, stuff like that.
Non-committal to begin with.
I wouldn't say we're non-committal. I just think, like, we have... Our values are different from, like, our parents.
Yeah.
Just because of the stages that we're in, the culture that we grew up in, I feel like Gen Z is very much, like, pro-us,
Yeah. More, like, selfish in a way.
I don't want to say selfish, like self-aware, right? No.
I think Gen Z is more like fend for yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, like, for the good of others, but also, like, at the end of the day, it's you yourself.
I wonder if Gen Z is going to make bad parents.
Maybe Gen Alpha.
We're Gen Z, by the way. We're not just shitting on younger generations.
I don't know, but I also feel like Gen Z, especially, like, first generation.
Yeah.
After immigrant parents.
Yeah.
We're out here trying to, like, heal our inner child and, like, understand our inner child. And,
right.
like, have all this therapy and self-growth and awareness and stuff.
Yeah.
And so we're not in survival mode necessarily.
Yeah.
So, like, our children's experience will be different, but I always wonder what their struggles are going to be.
But
Like, it'll
also-
probably be so different from ours, and like I won't be able to empathize with their childhood because my childhood is probably going to be really different.
I think I used to be on your side where I feel like there should be even more commitment, but like, I feel like I'm being slowly convinced to,
Yeah, it's the same.
yeah, like
Actually,
what only, like, marriage shouldn't change your life, especially if you're moving, like, I don't know, at most tax benefits and having a joint financial account, but like for the most part, you're probably gonna, once you move in, you're gonna plan a lot of things around each other, you know. I don't know. I am exploring this topic on my own. That's where I'm at right now.
work in progress.
Work in progress.
Actually, I was going to say that I think in marriage, I'd be more willing to sacrifice even more than in dating. But now that I think about it, maybe not. Like, I think
Right.
I think there's still, not that I wouldn't sacrifice anything, but it's like that level of sacrifice, I still need to maintain some sort of independence in a relationship, whether it's dating or marriage.
Yeah,
so I
like-
think that's where it comes from.
Yeah, like you're still your own person once you get married.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, how do we
Also
feel
put
about
a pin in that.
what was the love theory again? It was
IKEA? Is that still the
IKEA. Yeah. It kind of makes sense, but I can see how it could be very unhealthy.
Yeah. I just
Yeah.
personally don't
Vibe
agree
with
with
it.
it. Yeah.
That's fair. Okay, I think I have.
But I think it is human nature.
I have one or two more. Oh, so this is interesting. This is more of an Asian one, the red string theory. I talked to you about it a little off camera, but the idea that you and this person have been like tied together. So I guess it does follow like you have one loved one in the whole world. And the string can be like, so it's like some way, like when you guys are kids, you guys are connected. Like whether it's like your mom is like a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend's like mom, whatever, like some way you're connected. And like no matter like how far you travel and they travel, at some point you come back and like, because you're connected, you know?
So, like, outside of an Asian stance, this would be like the invisible string theory.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing. Never mind. I can just call it string theory.
No, but red string theory is also a thing. Like, it's like Japanese and Chinese cultures or something.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I think like string theory in general.
It's interesting because when I think of the string theory, I always do hindsight rather than thinking about it as like fate. I think it's because there's so many mutual friends in New York, for example, or just in life. Like, it's such a small world that there's always like some kind of relation to anyone, whether it's like friends or like partners. And so to me, it feels like
No,
you have
but
an
the-
invisible string for everyone almost.
But the connection has to happen at the start. Like you were tied in the beginning.
Yeah. I just don't think that way.
I'm trying to think if anything connects to me and Rebecca. Genghis Khan.
Oh,
We were connected 1,000 years ago.
dang.
Actually, I do feel like though, if you were to meet someone and you were like, oh my god, like if somehow you guys like knew each other, instant love.
Yeah.
My mom and dad have the same birthday.
Really?
Yeah. I think that's why they fell in love.
Really?
No, I'm kidding. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I guess if you just have something that like connects you,
But
that just feels like
but I
a
know it's very much like fairy tale energy.
Yeah.
Like it's not.
hopeless
I mean,
romantic.
who knows? Who knows? You know, love is love.
We love love.
We love love. Okay, there are some like scientific ones I don't really want to go into, like intimacy versus passionate versus companionate love. But I think personally for me, my takeaway from this is like everyone's definition of love is different, you know? I don't think love is meant to be put in a box. But yeah,
Wait, what about the third love theory?
I'm past my third love.
Okay, basically it's like your first one's like an innocent, pure kind of love. Second love is like it's deeper, but you like learn a lot through it. And then your third one is the one that you're like ready for, and that's the one that lasts.
Wait, actually, I feel like a lot of them, the theme is like timing almost.
Yeah. I mean, I do know people that dated in college or like younger maybe and like have gotten married and stuff. I think for myself, just looking back at those time periods, like I was just like so not ready for that kind of relationship.
Wait, I'm actually going to call cap because I'm not invalidating how you feel, but I also think the environment we were in played a huge role in that. Because I feel like if you were in a friend group or like a family where like everyone got married and like church marriages basically,
ring by spring,
right? But I mean, like, yeah, same. Like, I also wasn't like in the same.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That makes sense. But I guess that is just like, yeah, we weren't. That wasn't my mindset.
Right.
That wasn't my norm. I didn't feel ready.
Yeah.
And like looking back, I'm like, wow, I was so immature about how I like went about relationships.
Yeah, I think love is hard. Love is like love, marriage, commitment, the whole like like the whole whatever fucking like spectrum of it is just hard to find. Everyone's experiences are valid, but also like, you know, it's not meant to be black and white, right? And then there's the whole like where arranged marriages are actually better than your own marriages. I don't know if you've heard about that, but that's apparently a scientific fact.
Oh.
Like lower divorce rates in arranged marriages than like regular
I've heard
marriages.
that.
Yeah.
Is it because the parents know their children, or is it because the parents know the family background and history and values?
I think parents understand what makes a marriage work. It's like how we can't conceptualize what marriage really is versus them in their old age can. So they know like what qualities, I guess, to look for.
Yeah.
Because like I've even like thought about like marriage specifically. What we don't consider are the factors outside of our partner, like their family, and like so it's complicated.
We're 26.
Yeah.
Are you ready to get married?
No. But these are thoughts that cross my mind because my brother got engaged. And I'm like, how are you in your 24-year-old, 25-year-old brain? Again, I still think it's culture related.
Are a lot of his friends
No,
at
but
that stage?
Life stage and culture. Like, I think he has been working for a few years now. And then I guess like he's known a couple of people who've been married, but also I think just being in New York really adds to the persona and the idea of being like self-independent, you know. Like New York is very much just like New York or no one. And the New Yorkers are all like tough, like out to hustle. Who has time to get married if you're out hustling? For real.
Yeah, the city culture goes crazy.
City culture goes crazy. All right, you want to wrap it there? Anything else you want to say about marriage or love?
We love love. Somehow it always comes back to love on this podcast.
I think it's because that is a really prevalent area of our life right now.
True.
I actually had a conversation with a friend today. His social media platform is his journal for him. This is kind of what it is for me too.
Oh, he like creates content?
He just started, but his goal was to do so with the idea of letting his social media be like his journal.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, this is kind of what this is. We're like keeping records of our 20s.
Yeah.
Like once we get married, we're going to look back on
March
13th and be like, hey, marriage is exactly nothing like I expected.
So true. Yeah. That's true. Dating is a big part of our lives at this time.
Yeah. Okay, dokes. I love you guys.
So much love. It's getting warmer here. Hopefully we can all enjoy the outdoors again and not be hermits.
Let us know if anyone is interested in a TTYL vlog. If one person is down, then we'll do it.
If one person comments about the vlog or just in general?
In general. No, about the vlog.
Okay, if one person says that we should do a vlog, then we'll deliver what the people want.
That's just for fun.
Okay, thanks for tuning into our auditory and visual diary.
If you have any love stories you guys want to share in the comments, please feel free. Or any love theories you've heard, because there's a lot of weird ones out there. Oh my god, the one where men fall for women who look like their moms.
Look like?
Yeah, apparently
or
it's
act
also
like?
No, look like. That's
really?
that's also a proven like scientific thing now.
I mean, I know the one where like people tend to end up with someone that's similar to their parent.
Oh, another one where it's like couples sort of look like each other. That's
that is so true.
A proven like thing.
But
now.
like how?
The theory is that because you are now like together, you guys go through similar life like events,
and that changes how you look.
Well, I mean, hey, like let's say you shop at the same stores. Let's say you eat the same diet. You go through the same stressful situations together. It would affect your appearance.
But your facial structure.
What if you guys both gained 50 pounds and then
But
shaved your heads?
No, but I don't think it's even like weight related. Like I genuinely think that people's like facial structures start to look similar, but I don't even know how that's possible.
Insane.
Okay, actually maybe it's because like you see them together so much that your brain
Association.
Yeah, it just kind of does it by itself. Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys have any of those interesting ones, please share them below. We love reading your comments, and yeah.
My favorite one is still the right person will come at the right time. And if it's the right person, wrong time, that means they're the wrong person.
I heard that when I was like 14 or 15, and I was like, it might feel so hard. That one's deep.
You were dating at that time, right?
14, 15.
Oh.
No, sorry. I heard that when I was like 17, 18.
That's
like senior year of high
college.
school. No, senior year of high school.
All right, Tay. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, we appreciate you so much. And we will talk to you next week with that
TTYL.